Hello everybody and welcome back to Victoria, where last episode the game crashed right at the end of the game. End of the episode. Luckily, it's currently 2 weeks before then. The last autosave was only 2 weeks previously, so we lost basically nothing. And that's perfect. So we're going to tick on forward here. We were making plans to attack the Arabian Peninsula. That's absolutely great. We've crossed the 100 million threshold in our GDP. That's very, very good as well. And these guys have actually started up a revolution, which they did not do previously. This is different. Okay, so we'll keep an eye on that. They are doing a revolution to enact propertied women. They only have 57% here. Okay. Well, we're now further than we were before, so luckily it didn't crash again, but these guys have decided to start up a revolution, which is different. We'll keep an eye on that. I don't think we're going to enact propertied women. If we need to, we'll fight them. So we're starting up a deficit here. We do definitely need to crank up our taxes a bit. So that'll do for now, and we're going to get these synthetics plants done. We are starting to work on some barracks, so I would like to start thinking about another industry to prop up here. What do we want to go for? Automobiles. We don't have the tech yet for automobiles, correct? I think that we don't. Yeah, we need a combustion engine for that. We're 14 months away from that. Maybe we should grab that instead of nitrogen fixation first? That would also give us motorized reconnaissance. That does make some level of sense. So we can swap over there, then do nitrogen fixation, like that. Then that would mean that we would end up wanting to build some additional motor industries. Now, we do have some in Amhara. Let's take this up to 20. Actually, let's take it up to... What is the current economy of scale cap? Does it say in here? Current cap is 50. Okay. So with the current cap being 50, that's absolutely fine. We could take this up to 50 if we wanted to. It'll probably create some shortages in some things like tools or steel, which is fine. We can work with that. So this is 25 here. We need to add in 35 here. And then one additional to put us just over the economy of scale cap, like that. Now, that's probably going to be a little overkill on the motor industries. And that's okay. We're going to get automobiles fairly soon. I do want to move the synthetics plants up. We're not prioritizing making barracks right now. Okay. So we'll get something like that going. Beautiful. That should keep our construction busy for a while. We'll get these synthetics plants done. And then our motor industries in Amhara are going to be worked on for quite a while after this. Now, how much is this actually gaining? 9.3, but it can only go up to 58. We're not going to enact propertied women, to be clear. That is not happening. So we're currently financially positive. We're working on paying off that little bit of debt that we built up. That's looking good. What's looking less good is our authority deficit. But there's not a lot we can do about that right now. Heavy-handedness indeed. This guy should stand down. So we're going to drop this down to 4% here. Day at the printers. 10% enactment success chance for cash? Oh, only 500. This isn't ongoing. This is only 500 pounds. Do it. Send a correction. That bumps us up to 18%. So that's much, much, much better. That's looking good. We're going to have our debt paid off quite soon. Not like we're paying much in interest, to be honest. Our authority being at minus 115, though, our president's popularity isn't great right now. It's not great indeed. When is our next election? About a year and a half away. Okay. We'll keep an eye on that. We're currently at an 86 legitimate government. So that's looking reasonably fine. Our synthetics plants are going to be done in 6 weeks on the outside. So that's looking absolutely great. We are definitely going to be making some money off of that. Our unemployment numbers have risen somewhat. That's certainly noted. Okay. Well, we'll continue to work on that. How are we doing on that infamy? We're down to 37. Arguably, well, crime and divinity, huh? Bolt their temples shut. What could go wrong? So I would also like to start working on harming relations. Actually, we don't need to harm relations down here. We could just conquer this state. That would be 14.4 infamy, though, and I think we're better off making our way out over this direction to try to get us some territory that might have some oil. I don't think this desert does. What do we have here? Yeah, not a lot there. There are a few oil rigs here, lead mines, and fishing wharves. There's a lot of oil rigs up this way. Sulfur mines. So I would definitely not mind expanding out this way. Expanding this way is an option, but it's not going to get us very much resource-wise. So that's definitely noted. So that means that we should also... We don't actually need to harm relations here. Or here. 19.3 infamy, and is this all one state? It actually is. Fascinating. 19.3 infamy, huh? So we need to be at like 31 infamy, or we'd sit above for a little bit, but honestly, Britain will protect us. So that's probably not the worst of ideas. This will give us access to sulfur mines and fishing wharves. We can't actually attack this guy because, well, we don't have a way to get to him, but those oil rigs would be great. I think that we do start here in Lahej and then just make our way northward. I think that's it. When are we expecting to go down? It's going to be a bit yet. Okay. I want this to go down below Cordial for sure, because we can't currently conquer state there, which is sad. So these guys are up to 66 at this point. And they've got this agitator here, right? This guy is the main problem. So what do we want to do with him? Exile dissident. He would be recruitable by other countries as an agitator. The amount of radicals generated depends on our freedom of speech laws and the popularity of his character. So this will probably generate quite a lot of radicals, 2% of intelligentsia and 5% of intelligentsia. So 7% of the intelligentsia will be more radical. Do it. So with that guy out of here, what does that actually do to this situation? Regulatory bodies progresses to study. This doesn't appear to have changed this setup at all. Okay. Fascinating. The radicalism is still ticking upwards. Gondar and Amhara would secede, which is very rude. Once again, though, this is the landowners. As usual, it's the landowners. It's always the landowners. What a bunch of jerks. So our motor industries are ticking on through here. We're making good progress on that. Financially, we're doing a lot better now. There's no doubt about that. As of this moment, they're not capable of creating a revolution. But even if they do, Britain will help us. And so that's not the end of the world. I'd really prefer not to. But we'll see. Is Cordial 25 or dropping below Cordial? Is that 25? I think it might be. Mara is currently antagonistic towards us, which is interesting. fishing wharves, lead mines, and oil rigs. And then, is this still part of Mara? Yeah, that's all part of Mara. So what would this cost us in terms of infamy to actually take? 5.3? That seems super doable. Let's do it and hope nobody joins. And actually, we can cross over here. So we can send these guys to mobilize and advance this front out over this way. And so we shall. Cool. We're going to get done with all of these motor industries. I am hoping that we manage to not have this revolution happen. That would be very nice. These guys are at minus 20 right now. Nearly all of that is because they don't like women's suffrage. Okay. We could ship off the opposition leader. I don't think we really want to do that, though. -2 interest group approval. And +5 movement radicalism. Either way, that's a bad event, but we'll go that route. Okay, is anybody leaning either direction? No. Good. Well, we're not out of the opening maneuvers phase. So let's tick on forward here. I thought we were ticking, but there we go. And we're going to, of course, launch an invasion of Mara soon enough. We're going to attack here and get that taken over, and then we're going to launch our invasion of Mara. They have no army, so they cannot stop us from doing this. This should be no real problem. Okay, Russia sided with them. That's kind of rude. How strong is Russia? They're reasonably strong. They're stronger than we are. And Britain can't be brought in at this point. That's interesting. If we were to back down, we'd have to pay war reparations, which would, of course, be painful. What do we think the odds are that Russia gets here before we have this all taken over? We're going to need to mobilize these guys. And then we're going to run a naval invasion. Well, we're not currently at war. We're going to mobilize these guys, though, and then run a naval invasion up over this way. Landowner interest group approval would be good here. We'll definitely do that to bring them down back to 20. Cool. So to be clear, I'm pretty sure that Britain will not be helping us here with Russia. We could offer them an obligation to try to join our side. They're not going to. Order a withdrawal from Eritrea, huh? Our men are professionals. They can maintain discipline wherever they are. So our goal here is to take over Mara before Russia arrives. That's the plan. And yeah, our attempt to sway them failed. We'll see what ends up happening there. They are not going to accept that. We can't bring these guys in. So is there anyone other than Britain who would accept joining us? No. No, there is not. So we'll see what ends up happening here. Is Russia involved in other things? They do have a number of diplomatic plays against people who are arguably potentially more powerful than us. Like, say, Spain here. Are they actually more powerful? No, they're similar levels. But Russia is going to have multiple problems. So we might still be able to pull this off. Everybody's going to declare neutrality, which is expected. And we're going to launch our invasion of Mara here as soon as we can. Russia has troops traveling in over here. Okay. That's noted. So I'm going to mobilize these guys as well, and we're going to put them over here. War has now broken out, and we're going to do a naval invasion of Mara with this guy. There we go. And we'll see how that goes. This is going to be very interesting for sure. We have a lot of forces here. A lot of them are garrison troops. This battle is terrible. We attacked with 7 units. Okay. I mean, we are attacking across this strait, right? We may end up shifting to being defensive over here. Industrialists are currently steaming. Okay. Let's see how our landing up here goes. But this battle is definitely not great. Russia is more powerful than us, but they should have other problems. Actually, only one of these wars went through. The other one did not. That's interesting. They have a lot of troops coming in over here. We are preparing our forces for our naval invasion. We'll see how that goes. I was really hoping that nobody would come to Mara's defense, but Russia has. A day at the printers, huh? We are going to send a correction to the printers. Cool. So we attack over here, and it looks like this we take over immediately. So that's looking good. We are not facing any resistance up there. So that's now done. We're going to continue to attack over this direction. That's slightly better, but we need to send a lot more forces than 12 if we want to actually get this done. That's for sure. So we're probably going to swap these guys over to defending this front. At this point, most likely. And if we were to make peace here, we would, of course, conquer Mara. They have minus 244 reasons right now, which is expected. But we'll see. 20% of academics becoming more radical? No thanks. So this battle's going to end eventually. And we're hoping that Russia will start attacking us. Attacking into this. We're going to be better off defending, for sure. But Russia has a tech advantage on us. There's no doubt about this. We should probably bump up our military wages, which means that we need to bump up our taxes as well. So doing that, that puts us at what level of military? 5884 compared to Russia's 6609. But we're a lot further away from Russia. Like, we're a lot closer here, right? So that should be reasonably fine. We're also working on the combustion engine. That's 6 weeks out. So broadly, I think we're going to be okay-ish here. Is Russia actually working on attacking us? No. We could continue attacking them. We do technically have a small advantage here. So we could see if we get a single good attack. A single good attack is all we would need. Anarchism has been unlocked, sure. Mediocre. Very mediocre. I think it's just that we're trying to attack across this strait. I think that's the main problem here. Like, we're probably going to have a hard time moving a lot of troops over there. Revolutionary standoff in Darfur. Yeah, that's to be expected. Okay. So at this point, they would actually accept this peace deal. We propose it and accept it. So we won that war despite Russia's interference. Beautiful. So that looks great. This is now under our control over here, Ethiopian Yemen, and we're going to need to start incorporating this state. So Ethiopian Yemen is going to cost 19.5 bureaucracy. That's not too bad. Hello, pause menu. And we're going to hop in here, and we're going to build whatever oil rigs we can, which is 1. We're also going to build whatever lead mines we can, which is 1. And that looks good. Now the question is, how's our infamy? 36.4. So these guys are currently wary of us. We should definitely be able to launch an attack here. The main question is, do we bring in Britain this time? We're not looking to conquer extra states. So I think we do this. And then we sway Britain. And this should prevent anyone else from joining in theory. Okay, regulatory bodies having a setback. Okay, we will bump up our success chance as well. British Republic sided with British Republic. Cool. So we don't want any war goals other than just this conquer, so this is absolutely fine. And the British Republic is now officially cocky here. But now, because we have this front here, technically we don't even need to do anything. Britain can do all the work here, can't they? Combustion engine has now been unlocked. So I want to hop over to our, not laws, I want to be in our development here. We want to go down to motorized reconnaissance. That's going to be very expensive. Okay, incredibly expensive. That is noted. We may have to back off of that. That said, we also have some of these that we can work on. Yeah, some of these production methods should definitely be worked on. Okay, a lot of these aren't going to make us very much, to be sure. We didn't have any lead mines before. Okay, yeah, that does make sense. So condensing engine pump, dynamite, we want to be on steam donkeys, rail transportation, and publicly traded. Cool. Coffee plantations can be on automatic irrigation and publicly traded. We'll make some money out of that. Fishing wharves, cool, and oil rigs can go to combustion engine derricks, which will go a ways towards offsetting how much we're going to be spending on other things. That's really, really expensive on the chainsaws. We may have to back off of that too, but we're looking to get ourselves some additional oil, so hopefully that'll be relatively fine. The same thing with automatic bottle blowers, to be clear. Oil is going to be a big, big lack for us here. At least until we get our hands on some additional oil production. So some automobile production does make sense here. I think that we will put in automobile production on a couple of these, but not crucially in Amhara. So that's going to be mixed. We're going to be on rotary valve engine, and publicly traded requires diesel or electric engines. Electric would be really nice, but we don't have that access yet. Okay, so we'll produce some. In fact, I think we'll put every single one of these except Amhara on automobile production. Okay, so that's looking good. Public motor carriages, absolutely. Electric streetlights, yes. And covered markets. Looks good. Cool. Now, as far as this war goes, we'll let Britain fight it. We're going to bump up to very high taxes, and this is still going to be very expensive. Oil is going to be a big problem for us. Now, these constructions are going to be very, very slow, but I'm still going to let them go for the time being. We're going to have a financial crisis. Yes. This is absolutely true. Britain is on their way down over here. That looks fine. 20% paper mills throughput? We'll do it. Dropping the price of paper will actually help us a fair amount. We're currently spending 64.8k on paper. So dropping the price of paper will be useful. We're just going to use Britain to fight Liège here. We're not going to fight them ourselves. So that will save us some cash. Another thing we could do is we could turn down our barracks. That would save us a lot of money. We should definitely turn down our military wages. That'll save us a whole lot of money. So, yeah, we could press the general to support the government here. Or we could arrest him. It's going to drop next time if we fail this. So that should be reasonably fine. Yeah, minus 5% progress will be added at the next checkpoint. So that seems okay. We're going to continue our construction on these motor industries, and these barracks are being worked on as well. Of course, we're definitely going to want to construct whatever we can here in terms of resources. But what we're really after is this state. So we want these 14 oil rigs. Beautiful. What just went through? I'm not sure what came through there. I didn't actually look. We've got an election starting up in 128 days. The radicalism is continuing to tick upwards here, and I think that's ultimately going to continue to be the case. We're probably going to end up having to fight this revolution. However, now is not that time. For the time being, it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, Britain will conquer this for us, and that will be absolutely great. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, James, Shadow Wolf, Mlohan80, Rogue Corvid, Kentogan, Andy Magar, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12 UK, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.